All right, record to the cloud. All right, here we go. Bam. All right. So just for the recording, because somebody's going to watch this tomorrow and have no clue what we're talking about. We're talking about our 90-day challenge, to get you into your very next wholesale deal. Okay, 90 days. We got 90 days from today to start. We're going to break this up month by month. So we're getting ready to go into, well, we're in October already. So we're starting in October. So the 90 days starts today. All right. I'm sorry. No, it starts tomorrow. 90 days starting tomorrow. So what I want you to do, if you're watching this now, you're going to go into the back office. Let me share my screen once again. You're going to go into your back office. All right. Underneath the downloads section, you're going to scroll down. I put a little calendar. It's not flashy. I don't care, but it's going to make you some cash. Okay. It's just October 2019 90-day challenge. This is the first month. Okay. So let's click on that. Okay, it's loading. Sorry. You're going to have to download it because I put it in a Word format so you can change some things around. Okay. Enable macros. It's going to eventually load. Okay, here we are. Oh, cancel. Okay. All right, here we are. Make it up a little bit bigger. All right, really simple. Today is the 6th. Actually, don't worry about this one right here because you're on the call right now and you just got here. All right. It's very simple, very repetitive. Okay. Let me break this thing down to you guys. On tomorrow, listen, any one of you guys, I don't care how busy you think you are, you can find me 5 properties, 5 driving for dollar properties. Okay. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the president. If President Trump is on this call, he's not that busy where he can't find 5 properties. Okay. Find 5 driving for dollar properties. You already made the commitment, so you can't back out now, no matter what it takes per day. Okay. 5 per day. 5 per day. So some people say, well, I got 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 25. I'm going to find 25 all in one day, and then I'm not going to do nothing for the 5 per day. All right. 5 per day. So if you find, that's why it's the 5 plus. If you find more, cool. But I want you out there every single day. This is what getting you out there every single day is. Every single day gets you in the field more. Every single day gets you in a market where you might run into someone. You have better chance of running into someone who can help you out in your business, who can guide you. You're going to have a better chance if you're out and you're doing that every single day versus just out there one week. So if you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, like Ali did this morning, to go out there and go driving for dollars and just find your 5 and you come home, cool. Maybe on Tuesday you get off of work early, or you have a nice little lunch break and you have an area you want to hit up. Okay, we're going to do that on Tuesday or whatever, but I need 5 minimum every single day. All right. So at the very end of the week, you're going to have at least 25. Listen, do this work. Just trust me on this. Just trust me on this process. Okay. Do this work. You only got it Monday through Friday. You're going to be doing that 5 per day. All right. So next thing you're going to do on Monday, Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Let me show you this. So I'm already sharing my screen. Where am I at? Let's add another tab. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, this is what you're going to do on Monday. Facebook has something called Marketplace right here, right? So we're going to click on Marketplace. Once this thing loads up. Some of you guys have posted properties on here. Some of you guys have seen properties on here. I don't know why this is taking so long. Let's look for sale by owner. And we're looking for homes. All right. So on Monday, going back to our calendar, on Monday, we're doing Facebook marketing, or marketplace, Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Okay. So Craigslist is very similar. You go on there, for sale by owner homes, same exact thing. I want you checking this once a week. Okay. If you want to check it more, fine, but a minimum of once a week. We can find properties like this. This is a $28,000 house in Atlanta, handyman special. all right, I might want to click on that, okay? I might want to go through, if it has a couple photos, it looks like it's probably worth less than $28,000. We're going to see here, this is Derek Beatty. This is probably a wholesaler because he has too much of, yeah, that's definitely a wholesaler because you don't have this house and with this type of profile. But here's what I'm trying to explain to you, and what you guys are going to start to see here throughout this. You're going to start to run into people because you're going to put yourself in a position where, now that you're in this course or you've been in this course, you know how to speak intelligently about investment properties. You're going to be able to have a conversation with Mr. Derek over here, who looks very, very professional, and you're going to be able to speak to him on the same level. Now, Derek might not be the right person for you, but after doing this and going through and combing through these properties, you're going to start to find people that can assist you and help you out. Okay, Derek might have this property he look like he has a 28, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1935, 1,000 square feet, investor opportunity, 15 minutes west of the airport, complete rehab job, savvy investor property. So you might be able to find a buyer for Derek if his numbers are correct. I don't know what his numbers are, but you're going to contact Derek and you're going to reach out to Derek and say, hey, I am a local investor. I wholesale properties, probably just like you do. I might have a buyer for this particular property. I only JV when I have a buyer, when I have a serious buyer. I'm not going to ask to tie up the contract, and I'm only going to ask to joint venture if I have a buyer. Does that sound like something you're interested in? Derek is going to say, heck yeah, because Derek is not going to be able to sell this property by himself because he probably got under contract for way too high. Okay, so we're going to work with Derek and we're going to try to find a buyer for that particular property. Here's one right here, $30,000 in Rome. This one is $190,000. Some of these are not going to be deals. Once you know your neighborhood, you'll be able to figure out whether or not they are. This one is an indicator, depending on what the price, I'm getting a little excited here, depending on what's going on with it. He says that, oh, this is just it's like a blanket listing for 90,000. So says I have multiple off-market properties, indicator area 3032, blah, 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 right? So this is someone who has multiple properties under contract, okay? We're going to reach out to Mr. Gabe Long, and we're going to contact him and say exactly what I just told you. Hey, I am a local real estate investor in the area. I wholesale just like you do, it appears. I'm looking to joint venture, but I'm only looking to joint venture if I have a buyer that is interested in this property. I do not want to tie up your property unless we both can make money. Are you interested in something like that? Hear what I'm telling you. Hear what I just said. I am a local real estate investor and I'm a wholesaler, probably just like you are. Okay? I'm looking to joint venture on this property, but I only want to do it. I only want to joint venture. I only want to joint venture if I have a serious buyer. I do not want to tie up your property if I don't have a serious buyer. Is that something that you're interested in? Okay. Anybody who's wholesaling, and he is wholesaling, he might not want to call himself a wholesaler or whatever, but he is for sure. All right. They're going to say yes because they're saying, listen, the biggest thing that I don't want to joint venture with people on is because they want to tie up properties and blah, blah, blah. They think they're going to put me under contract and then tie up my property, which is not going to happen. Right. So when you say that, you sound like, man, you know what you're talking about, even if you've never wholesaled a property a day in your life. Okay. I think his name was Gabe Long. He's going to say yes to something like that. Okay. He's going to say yes to but your job, I just want to point this out. Your job is not to just contact Gabe. Your job on Monday, okay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, you're going to comb through it, okay? Combing through this, you're going to find leads for possible sales, and you're going to possibly find buyers. Every once in a while, you actually might run into someone who's an actual for sale by owner homeowner, okay? But nevertheless, you're going to do this. Now you're going to start to run into the same ones, okay? There's some people out there that are going to post it over and over again. That's fine. That's fine. But the time that you don't check is the time that someone lists the property that you could have got under contract or that you could at least had a shot at, and you didn't do it, okay? So this is about taking action, but now we're going to have a very consistent and itemized action, action list. So Monday, we're doing driving for dollars, at least 5 properties, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. We're calling these people. We're not just going on there making them look cool. We're actually going to get on there and talk to people on the phone. Tuesday, drive for dollars. Again, I'm going to stop saying the drive for dollars because that's going across the board, all right? Tuesday is going to be your buyer's day. You're going to find and qualify 3 buyers, okay? Find and qualify 3 buyers. How am I finding and qualifying 3 buyers, Tommy? All right. So in our course, we talk about the different ways of finding buyers, okay? The different ways of finding buyers. Excuse me. Oh, wow. Hold on one second. All right. Different ways of finding buyers. I don't care which one you pick. Do that. I put the buyer's day on Tuesday because in most places, when do we have the county auction? When we have the tax lien auction? When do we have the pre-foreclosure auctions? I don't know why they do it like they do it on Tuesdays, but they do. Okay. If your city does your auctions on Thursday, or your county does it on a Thursday, I would switch these days. Okay. Because you can knock out, I'm trying to be efficient with your time, right? Knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay. But you're going to find and qualify. But I just want, unless you're going on an appointment, pay attention to me, guys. Unless you're going on to an appointment, I don't want you doing anything else but finding and qualifying a minimum of 3 buyers. And if you get 3 buyers right away, don't just say, oh, I put my feet up, I'm done for the day. No, like, let this be your buyer's day. You eventually, I promise you, this eventually will end up being a huge revenue booster for you, because eventually you're going to start doing these things. You're going to start contacting these people over here. Just look what I'm showing you, right? You're contacting these people over here. Pay attention. You're contacting these people over here, and then over here, you're going to be working on finding buyers. So let's just say you found a minimum of 3. You got 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. So in the course of a month, you found 12 buyers. Over the course of 2 months, you found 24. And over the course of 3 months, you found 36. You've just increased by 36 buyers and over the course of the 90 days, if you just did the bare minimum, okay? Not even including the people that you're going to find here within Facebook Marketplace. But I just showed you here, most of these people, this guy's a wholesaler. Where's the other guy at? That guy's a wholesaler. Let me see if this one's probably a wholesale off-market investment product. This one's a wholesaler, okay? Okay? You're going to start running into wholesalers, and what do all these wholesalers have? They have properties, but they don't have buyers, right? So at the end of 3 months, at the end of 90 days, you're going to have at least, if you do the bare minimum, an extra 36 buyers on your buyers list that are qualified. And by I mean qualified, go through our course and you'll see how to qualify the buyers, all right? So by the time you get to month 2, you're going to run into the same wholesalers that are probably trying to push the same properties that they had last month, that are going to be more than willing to drop their price to make it a little more reasonable. And you're going to have what? At least 12 buyers the very next month, okay? That you just qualified. You guys see what I'm going with this, right? So there's a reason why this is in order, all right? Next day, I put, like I said, I'm not going to keep talking about the D for D. On Wednesday, I put these 2 in red. Going to the RIA is probably going to take precedence over this, because not really that it's more important. It's just that normally RIAs are going to be on Wednesday or Thursday. They like to put them in the middle of the week, okay? So if the RIA that you want to attend is on Wednesday, then switch this over here and put the RIA on Wednesday and the courthouse on Thursday. Does that make sense? That's why those 2 are in red. You can interchange those, all right? But let's just take it as it is. Courthouse, okay? Courthouse. There are things that you can do while we're at the courthouse. All right, we can find eviction lists, all right? So we can get an eviction list from the courthouse, okay? We can find probate lists while we're at the courthouse, all right? We can find divorce lists, okay? We can find tax lien lists, right? So you can do that online too, all right? But while we're at the courthouse, we want to start building relationships with the county clerks, the courthouse clerks, okay? Being that face that they see, start learning that system, start learning the way that system works. Each county is different. You can start learning that system, okay? And then you're going to pull the list from the courthouse. The good thing about it, when you come to the courthouse and when you go there,
A lot of times, if you just go there, I don't want you printing out a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to go there. So let's say, hey, where is the eviction list? So the eviction list is coming up. They're getting ready to get served the eviction list. You go through, boom, take the photos of it, boom, 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 boom. All right. You're not printing it out, because when you print it out, they charge you like 50 cents per page. You just need to take a picture of it. All right. A clear picture of it. Okay. Courthouse. Okay. So I don't care which day you do it on, Wednesday or Thursday, but you need to get there and start learning that system. It can be a little bit intimidating. It's okay. You might have to go back the second week, the third week. All right. But eventually you'll crack that code, and it'll start to work, pan out for you. Okay. Once you get that, you got to pull that list and you got to start to skip them. Okay. You're gonna have to start skipping that list. So once we skip this list, all right, we're gonna hold on to that. Okay. Next day we go into driving for dollars and RIA. Reason why I put this one, because your RIA, like I said, it could be on either day, but at the day that you do the RIA, a lot of the RIAs, most of you guys are working, right? So you got jobs during the day. Okay. Some people can go to a RIA during the middle of the day, but most of you are going to do this in the evening. So it's going to take away from doing some of the other stuff. I just need you to one day a week. Oh, I got kids. Oh my gosh, little Johnny has a soccer game. Little Johnny will have a soccer game next week. I promise you. Okay. One day out of your week, you need to dedicate to your profession, dedicate it to little Johnny, dedicate it to little Johnny's future by going to a RIA. Sean is on this call. He can talk about how influential going to a RIA consistently is. Sean is like seen as like a real estate god over there in Charleston, because he goes consistently. He's been through this course. He can talk at a high level with people who've been in the business for a very, very long time, right? And so because they look at him like that, they Sean, am I wrong, right? They want people are like beating down your door to joint venture with you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you do anything else besides go to the RIA and just be knowledgeable and be personable, right? You just talk to people, right?
Just talk to people.
Hey, I promise you, JV money spends exactly the same. It's so crazy. Whenever a JV with somebody and I put that money in the bank, I spend it the same way as if I made it all on my own. It's weird how it works, right? It's just money, right? It's money that came from someone else, right? I JV'd with them and we split the profits 50-50, but they came to me, right? Just by going to a RIA. Go to the RIAs either Wednesday or Thursday. Like I said, these two are interchangeable, all right? Last thing on Friday, well, not the last thing, Friday, okay? We're driving for dollars. It was a big day, okay, because we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 properties, and we pulled a list from the courthouse. We've got them all skipped, and we are now cold calling. We're cold calling on the on the Friday. I don't do anything on Saturday. That's up to you if you want to cold call on Saturday. Excuse me. But I cold call on Sunday, right? So cold call on Saturday, if that's the day you want to cold call. Like I said, I don't do anything. So if you want to exchange these days for Sunday, for Saturday, cool. But go back and get at least the coke. All this needs to get called. These whole list, there's 25 plus the probably if you pull a eviction list or something like that, that's going to be, anywhere between 10 to 30 people. Okay. All right. And you're going to call all of them, all of their numbers. Guys, this does not work if you just put the freaking list together and you don't call. It doesn't happen magically, right? It doesn't happen magically. We have to get the list together, but then we actually have to get on the phone with them. Okay. We're going to do this week, next week, following week. Oh, I'm sorry. And very, very important. Take one day for a rest break, for a day off. Okay. So like I said, Saturdays, I don't do anything. I don't do any work on Saturdays. It's hard. It's very, very hard. Like when you get into this routine, it's very, very difficult for me to turn a lot of times I get tricked into working, right? I really do. So it's hard to kind of disconnect for a little day, but you have to, man. You'll start running yourself out. But we all know, and if you're new, some of you guys are new, last call Sundays. If you do this, you're going to automatically have people to call on Sunday. All right. Last call Sundays when we all get on this line and we cold call together. All of us, we form together like Voltron. All 52 of us that are on this call right now, we're going to get together and combine all our forces. We're going to put everything together, and we're going to cold call on last call Sundays together live from now on. All right. So you'll have that. This is just this 1 month. Here's what I want to press upon you. Let me stop sharing real quick so I can look at everybody's beautiful faces. Listen. All right. We got that formula down there. Now, some of you guys are more advanced. Some of you guys are pulling other lists. Some of you, as you can see, I kept it very, very low budget, right? I could put a whole bunch of high level techniques in there, but these things actually work. You just might not get it on the very first week. You might not get the deal on the second month, right? But if you do this consistently, I promise you, if you do this consistently and you don't waver and you don't say, I'm going to do 5 today, I'm going to do 10 tomorrow, and I'm going to take the 2 days off, and then I'm going to finish up. You never know when that deal is coming. Zenobia, who I talk about a lot, she was ready to quit. She was ready to quit. After 2 days of being in the course, she was ready to quit. I spent 45 minutes on the phone convincing her not to quit. The very next day, she found a property that within 30 days, she made $12,500 on. Okay. She made $12,500 on that. And within 30 days from that very next day that I hung up the phone with her, the very next day, she pushed herself, she went out. That's the day that she found the seller that eventually sold their property within 30 days for $12,500. But it gets even better because that person had 3 other properties. She made over $40,000 off of that one. If you really think about it, it was that one day. Okay. It was that one day. Now, I don't know, Ali, if your one day is tomorrow, right? Here's the thing, as an entrepreneur, someone who's owned a business for some years now, I just know that I just need to put in the work. I just need to do my part. All right. The way God has things set up, I have no idea when it's going to happen. Right. I just know I got to do my part. Right. So I don't know if your next day, Agatha, is tomorrow, or Dex, maybe your next day is on Thursday, or Frey, your next day might be October 27th. I don't know. All I know is that if you take that one day off, man, you're never going to know whether or not that was your day. All right. And I would hate for that day to have been of your day. Right. That could have been the one, that could have been the property that you found that led to the deal 2-3 months later. Okay. But we have to put in consistent work. It has to be consistent. It can't be hit or miss. You give your job more than you give your own freaking family. And it's time to change that. All right. You're giving your other people more than because you show up to work on time. Well, hopefully most of you do. Some of y'all probably lost a job or two for not doing that. Right. But you show up to work on time. You go to work on Monday through Friday or whatever day you do because someone else told you to, because they tricked you into thinking that this is the way to live. Right. But I need you to give that same energy that you're giving to someone else. I need you to give that same exact energy to your own freaking business. All right. 90 days, man. 90 days committing right now. 90 days. We're not playing around. Everybody in this call is coming away with a deal in 90 days, but you got to put the work in. I don't care. Like I'm sick right now. Right? That's why my voice is acting up. I'm out there. Kelly was on the line with me. Right. I was on the line when I'm driving for dollars. Right. Because I still have my quota I have to meet for myself. Right. So you have to do this. I don't care if you're sick. This is, unfortunately, when you become an entrepreneur, you don't get paid sick days. So suck it up, okay? Until you can start paying people to do what you want them to do, then you get sick days. But I'm telling you, if you put in this work now, if you just say, you know what, you've been sick before and you had to go to work, you ain't going to die, right? It's okay. It's time to toughen up. It's time to do this thing in the next 2 years instead of taking the next 20, right? But if you really want to do this in the next 2 years, you can't act like you got 20 years to do it. Right? So 90 days. We got our calendar, 90 days. I'm on it, man. Let's get this thing. I want everybody on this call in Cancun, and I don't want none of y'all to pay for it. I want someone else to pay for it. All right. So let me open this thing up for some Q&A. I think we got 62 messages in the chat. I don't know if I'm able to get through all those. So boom, 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 boom. Broke. Who said that? I'm broke. Bill, get out of here, man. First of all, I know you playing, Bill, but broke. We don't have no broke people in this call. We don't have any broke people. Let's go.
Let me see. 90 days. Let's go. Okay, cool. Anybody have any questions that want to put their hand up? Oh, you already did. People put their hand up already. If you guys are new on this, you can virtually put your hand up. If you've downloaded the Zoom link, you can put your hand up and see so I can get a notification that you have a question. Hayden, you're first on the line. Let me unmute you real quick. Hayden, go ahead.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, man?
All right, so today I was woke up by a seller that had contacted me off of my Craigslist ad, and everything was going well up until the point where he asked me, he was like, "Are you a wholesaler?" And I was like, "I'm a real estate investor, but I wholesale as well." He was like, "That's fine and dandy, but are you going to be the one that pays cash? Because I've been a real estate broker for some odd 20 years, and I'm not interested in doing anything with a third party." So I'm like, as a solutionist, I'm trying to figure out how do I not get him to hang up the phone? So I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I'm making him feel better about it. He's still explaining it. He's like, yeah, because I want 19,800, and that's what I want. I'm not talking anything else. So I told him, I was like, that's fine, sir. If you want 1918, if you want 800, then that's what we'll try to do for you. You know what I'm saying? And if I have somebody that I can make that work with, he was like, no, you're not hearing me. I don't want to do any assignment contracts. I'm not going to give away equity in my house. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out. He was like, but if you can figure out something, call me back. And he gave me his number. So
Okay.
that's what
What you're coming against is someone who's had a bad experience with a wholesaler. Okay. And so, was he at least allowing you to respond?
Yeah, we had, like I said, it was a fruitful conversation up until that point. And then
perfect. So this is how the conversation goes then. What's his name?
I think it was Caleb.
Caleb. Caleb.
It's in Macon. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, if he was in Atlanta, I know Caleb that's in real estate. All right. So, hey, Caleb, listen, I definitely understand your concerns about dealing with assignment contracts, wholesalers, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to be honest with you straight up because I think that's what you deserve. And honestly, I really don't want to waste my time, Caleb. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I do. I either purchase the properties for myself, I take them down myself, and I'm going to flip them and then make some profit. Do you have a problem with me making any money? No, I don't. All right, cool. As long as I give you your 19,800 that you want, if that's fair price, I haven't seen the property, but if that's a fair price and I can pay that, do you have any issues with the $19,800 going into your bank account? You have any problems with that, Caleb? No, just act like you're Caleb. We'll role play a little bit, okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right, perfect. Sometimes, Caleb, I'm also going to purchase this property. I'm going to do a lighter rehab on it. I'm not going to go full out. I'm not going to put granite, but I might just rent it out to get a better return on investment. So either way, that $19,800 is going into your pocket. It's going to spend exactly the same as if I was to flip it. Do you have any problems with that, Caleb?
No, that'd be fine.
Perfect. All right. And at other times, I will come in with a partner. Now, my partner and I will go ahead and purchase the property together. That money might come from my bank account or it might come from my partner's bank account, but it's $19,800. It spends exactly the same, Caleb. Do you have a problem with $19,800 going into your bank account?
No.
Okay, so let's go with it. All I'm trying to do, Caleb, at this point is just see whether or not this is a good fit for us. I want it to be a win-win situation for you, right? I want it to be a win-win situation for me. So if we can, I'd like to try to schedule an appointment Thursday at 7 p.m. or Sunday at 10 a.m. Which one works best for you? So what was the last question I asked him? The last question was, do you have a problem if $19,800 goes in your bank account? Listen to what I'm asking him, okay? So a lot of us, we're so focused on like, okay, what did I say? Well, like, you got to switch this thing around. So you got to make them really think. This is stupid. If I got an assignment contract and I'm still putting the exact same amount of money in my bank account, but it came from, Barnabas's bank account because he's the real buyer, but Tommy got paid and I still got $19,800. It spends exactly the same, just as if it was $19,000 and I was going to do a flip, just if it was $19,800 and I was going to do a rental. As long as he gets what he wants, who cares? He has to understand that, and he has to also understand that I don't need to buy his house. And you do that by the way you say it. You see how like I'm respectful, but I'm kind of stern at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm portraying like, listen, I don't need to buy your house. You're the one with the problem. I don't care if someone buys your house or not. I'm just going to find someone else anyway. But then when you finally agreed, what did I do? I softened it up. So listen, man, I want it to be a win-win situation for us, right? Like, I just want to get this thing done for you. I'm going to bust my butt to make sure that we try to get this thing done as quickly as possible. Normally we can do it in 7 to 18. We start to tell him all the things we're going to do, but I have to grab his attention and say, listen, this is stupid. Like, what you're saying is pretty much a dumb thing. Like, be smart, right? Without saying you're stupid, right? So he might have just had a bad experience with a wholesaler, right?
Yeah.
But that's a way. It's not so much what you say; it's also how you say it, the confidence level that you have, right? Danielle, I don't think she's on this call. At least I haven't seen her. Danielle was on a call where the guy was just being a jerk to her, man. He just was. But she was like, she's new, So then I got on the call, and it was a completely different thing. I got all the information that I was asking her to get, and we got done, and we actually ended up selling that house, right?
Yeah.
So be confident. You get confident by coming on the coaching calls. You get confident by going through the course. You get confident by learning how to do the numbers. You get confident by dealing with people. You get confident by going out there and talking to people. But if you just stay in the room and you don't if you don't get out there and go to RIAs, if you don't get out there and talk to people on the phone, then when it comes to something like that, you're not confident, and they can smell it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Cool. Answer your question, man?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Let's hear it. Ollie, you're up, man.
Hey, Tommy. So I got a couple of quick questions. First question is, when is the virtual wholesaling stuff going to be up on? I know you're recording all that great stuff. And the second question is, the whole course part of it.
Yeah, and the part that he's doing.
Yeah.
So I spoke with him, and we're having I don't want to say it's a deadline. I have a guideline because I can't make him do it, right? But I have a guideline that I'm trying to get that thing done, edited, and up within the next 30 days. Okay. For sure, the branding course is done. It just has to get edited and uploaded. It takes a little while to render. The actual course that you guys are seeing, the wholesale course, that literally took 2 days. 48 hours? Like 48 hours of the computer running of rendering it because it was such a large file. So hopefully it's not as long. I think he didn't shoot it. I think my mistake is that my videographer, he shot it in 4K. So I think we're shooting it in 1080p. So hopefully it doesn't take that long to render. But eventually, within this month, that course, because it's already done. It's filmed. It's already done. It's just editing it now, waiting on the editor to edit it, and then getting it rendered and uploaded. So the branding course will be up for sure in this month. And Ollie, man, I guess I might as well talk about it now since you brought up the courses. Man, I got another one for you guys. If you go way back, my man Don Baker of Baker Capital Group, Don just closed on another 107 unit apartment complex where he used how much of his money? None of his money. Okay. He now has over 500 units. Okay. And I just convinced him to teach a course on raising private capital and syndications. Okay. So you guys can raise private money, right? I know Rashana got on here a couple of weeks ago when I was in Dominican Republic. You guys remember that? She got on here and was talking about raising private capital. And she gave a nice overview of it. But we're talking about in-depth now, like an actual course, just like the wholesale courses. Do this, do that, do this, do that, right? So how to raise private money, what to say, what not to say, so we don't get ourselves in legal trouble with the SEC, right? So making sure that we're, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're doing it legally and ethically, right? So you got to get the foundation, because we're going to be basically raising. So I'm going to go to someone like Youssef and say, Youssef, man, you got that 401k with $100,000 in it. Give me a loan for 50. All right. And I'm going to use Youssef's money to get into my hard money flip. And then I got to make sure. So in order for me to feel comfortable with that, I need to be able to know my numbers, and I need to know exactly how to calculate everything, which I show you guys in the course. And then he's going to also show you to make sure that that's going to be a profitable deal, so you can pay back your hard money, pay back Youssef plus his 10% or whatever you guys work out. And then you walk away with a flip property that you put zero money into, or what I would suggest, try to look for a rental that you can refinance out of, have the bank pay them all off, and now you got a property that's cash flowing. Okay. So he's putting on that course. He told me he would be done with that in the next two weeks. I'd probably give him 3. I think he's underestimating how hard it is to put a course together. I probably would tell him at least 3, and then we're going to edit that and hopefully have that into you guys by November. All right. So we got some good stuff coming on.
So Tommy, I did have one piece as well to follow up with that on Hayden's question. To follow up on Hayden's question, how aggro can you get with a call? Because like I've had calls kind of like Hayden's, and I go for the punch in the nose first. Like I try to go as aggressive as I can without being rude, and it normally pulls them down. How aggro can you really get when you do that?
So that's exactly what I just did when we were role playing that. And you can see it wasn't being disrespectful with the words I was saying. It was just the way that I led the call, right? So this is a dance, right? So you got 2 people. I'm very A-type, like I'm very like alpha, right? And so sometimes I have to be aware of that I am really like alpha. Like I'm like one of those people that I want to go after it, right? So I have to be very conscientious that I don't do that with certain people. When someone's like that, who's an alpha, who's trying to be like, they're not trying to be aggressive, but they're just like, listen, this is me. This is my point. I like doing business with people like that, right? Because I know what they want. They have an idea of where they want to go, right? And they're here and they're saying, how do I get from here to here, right? As quickly as possible. I don't want to play around. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of crap. I just want to know, how do I get from where I'm at? I want to get rid of this property to here, the closing table, money in my bank account. Okay. And sometimes us as alphas, we have this, we're like, I'm just going to say, well, sometimes we're hard-headed, right? And so sometimes you got to beat through the hard-headedness so that we can hear it. Okay. So with people that are like that, you can't disrespect them, because once you do that, like someone disrespects me, it's a wrap at that point. I don't even hear nothing that you have to say, right? But you're not going to get through to me talking like, okay, and I'm not saying this is how you were talking, Hayden, but I'm just saying, you're not going to get through to me saying, well, I think that I'm going to hear, I think, and I'm going to say, I'm going to jump on that. I'm like, man, you don't know. You're not ready for me. Go find somebody else who's in my league, right? That's how I'm going to take it, right? If anybody has ever called me and asked me about a deal, you kind of see the difference, right? Because when it comes down to business, I'm very straightforward. Listen, I can care less about the backstory, right? I don't care about it. I just want to know numbers, because the numbers are going to dictate the thing. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to kind of hit them in the nose, like you said, right? But do it tactfully, and the way that you can do it is through the inflection in your voice and the speed at which you speak, right? So you can see, like I called him by his name, right? That's why I asked Hayden what was his name, right? Because I use that. There's a reason why I do that. When I say Ali, when I say, hey, this is what we're going to do, right? If we're on the phone, you're paying attention to me at that point. I just called your name. It's just a natural thing, right? Most of the time, you call someone's name, they look up at you at least, right? But if we're on the phone, obviously, we know we can't see if they're looking at us, but it's just a psychological thing, right? It goes way back to mommy and daddy when they called you by your full name, right? They called you by your full name because you knew you was in trouble. It gets your attention, right? So you use all those little techniques to grab their attention and take control of the conversation so that you can get your point off. Because right now, what Hayden was talking about sound like, if I could go back, if we could hear that conversation, Hayden, he was probably the leader of the call. Would you say, Hayden? Yeah, he was, right? He was probably like the person leading the call. And once you do that, you say, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely was, right?
Yeah, once you turn.
Yeah, of course. So once he's leading the call, we've kind of lost. Okay, so we got to take control back off. So there's sometimes leading the call doesn't mean that he's talking more. I can still lead the call and the other person be talking more, right? Because I'm asking them, hey, that property on Main Street, what are you looking to do with that? And then they just go on and talk for the next 20 minutes about all the problems of the property and how, little June bug was in there smoking dope and he got kicked out and the police came in there and now they're finding me, and they can talk about that for the next 30 minutes, right? But the reason why they're talking about that is because I led them to that point. So just because they're talking more doesn't mean that they're leading the call. Does that make sense? I want to lead them to where I want to go, but I can't even lead. In Hayden's case, you can't lead that person because they're alpha and they're used to being in the lead. So we got to show them that you're alpha in that moment. Even if you're not alpha at that moment, you got to show them you're alpha in that moment just so they pay attention to you. They're not even going to pay attention to you if you don't. And then once you get their attention, then you soften it up. I don't know if you guys notice how when we go back and you watch this call, my tone came down, my rate of speech, just like I'm talking to you right now. It's not, my volume came down, right? Because I'm letting them know, hey, I got my point across now. Now just listen. Now let's just work together, man. We're both on the same page. Let's work together. Cool? I know I give you a little long-winded explanation, but I really want to make sure everybody understands it.
Nah, that's cool, bro.
Good. What is that in your?
Oh, this is Ramsey's Tar Heel. My daughter had him, so I had to snatch him up from her.
Family.
Good.
Family.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Tar Heels fan, sir. It is what it is.
All right, but you could have did that off camera, bro. Like,
sorry, I got kids, man. What you gonna do? You gotta do what you gotta do.
I feel you, but that joint underneath your arm, like you sleep with that joint, like.
Nah, I just don't want my daughter slobbering on it. That's not a good look.
All right, whatever you do, bro. Whatever you do in your personal life, it's cool. All right, Susie. All right, let me unmute you, Susie. How are you?
Yeah. Wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I think you were next. I think you were. It was either you or Ramona. I don't know. Got these old eyes. You know what I'm saying? You get them old eyes.
Good evening, everybody. I have a question, Tommy. I'm working on a deal now. It's the address. I did the ARV. I did everything. I just kind of wanted you to look at the property, if you would, on Zillow. I haven't physically gone to the property myself, but I've seen it on Zillow. The address is.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get to Zillow real quick. All right, what's the address?
6146 Gold Finch. Gold like the color, Finch like the bird, Finch Drive in Mays Landing, right? What you see there, Mays Landing, New Jersey.
All right. Let me get rid of these real quick. I'll come back to you, I promise. All right. Let me slide this over. Okay.
All right. So that's the property. The seller, she has a mortgage of $183,000. Let me put that out there. And she's also hoping to get $20,000 out of this. She had to move to Florida to take a new job. So, once she has 20 in her hand, she's happy because she has to move back, to get her stuff out of the house, whatever.
Okay.
Anyhow, I have 3 comps. I have 3 good locations I could tell you, but in the space with respect to the time, what I came up with was an ARV out of 214,800. So
okay.
After I did my 3 comps and all of that, 70% of that is 150,360.
Okay.
Now, looking at the pictures, I haven't physically gone to the property. Looking at the pictures, I don't, see, what repairs per se. I mean, maybe, I don't know, the kitchen looks good to me, but I just kind of wanted you to see if, from your observation, if you think any particular repairs that seems visible to you.
So your question right now is more about, what do I think about repair costs? Is that your question?
Yeah. That's the question, and just that's because that's what I have to figure that out within my numbers and all of that. I mean, I did everything else up to that point,
Okay,
like,
so
does that kitchen look to you like a kitchen that needs? All right, sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying I think it's just a little bit of a delay. So no big deal. So this kitchen right here I don't care about this kitchen. What I care about is what do the kitchens that you are comparing this property to look like? Because if the kitchens that are selling, you came up with your ARV of $214,000, if those kitchens look like this, then we don't have to do anything about it. But this is Formica countertops. These are older cabinets, right? If those kitchens all have stainless steel and granite countertops with 42-inch cabinets, right, then this kitchen needs to get changed. But if it doesn't, and we can sell it, then we can keep it just like this, just maybe clean it up, maybe paint it, do some different things. So where are the comps? Give me an address of one of the comps.
Sure.
Down here.
6140 Robin Drive, like the bird, same town.
6140 Robin Drive and Mays Landing, right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. So we couldn't find, please check the spelling. Did I spell it right?
Robin, R-O-B-I-N.
Oh, I got two B's.
Yeah. It's just one.
So I told you guys ain't got to be smart to do this. All right, there we go.
Right.
All right. So this one, if I remember correctly, this is 1 bedroom bigger and about 38 square feet bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the kitchen. That kitchen looks a lot better,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It looks a lot better than your house. So I would say,
Right.
yeah, we need to do a new kitchen and it looks bigger,
Right.
okay? More open, right? So just from seeing this, we can see this house sold. Hope you guys are watching and paying attention. I know this might not be your question, but I guarantee you there's something you can learn from this, okay? Oh, that's what I'm looking for. So it's sold here in 2008 for $214,900. Looks like they tried to sell it this year. It doesn't show as sold as of right now.
Yeah, it was sold August 13th of this
Okay.
year.
Okay. So it sold for what?
It sold for $214,900.
Okay. So it sold for $214,900. It's 38 square feet bigger. And they did a full, well, I don't know about a full renovation, but they looks like they did some pretty good, yeah, decent renovations. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like a nice clean house. All right. So now that you see that we definitely are going to have to do something with that kitchen. Right. And Jersey prices, that didn't even look like a big kitchen, but it's still going to run you about $10K.
Right.
Okay. So what do you have down for repairs on your property, on that property? What do the numbers look like?
Well, what I did, I went on the far end of things, knowing that it's not going to be as much as this, but I was thinking, well, maybe $30,000, you know. So 150, 360 minus 30,000, if it was that much, which is 120,360.
Okay.
All right. So from there, okay, you know, I'm just trying to figure in my mind, you know, from this point, you know, she wants 20,000 out of this, and you know, just to figure it out.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do this real quick, so I can you know, I'm not trying to rush you, but I know we have a couple of people with questions. So you're saying that the ARV, right, is
214,800. Yes, 214,800.
Okay. We just saw one that was a little bit bigger that sold for $214,900. It was only bigger. It was bigger by 38 square feet. So you're probably right around that number.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So ARV is 214. We times that times 0.7.
Right. And
right.
that's
And you got what?
150,360.
150,360. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Perfect. Now, I know you're saying 30. I probably do, because we got 3 bathrooms. That's $3,500 per bathroom. That's $10,500. for the bathroom, plus $10,000 for the kitchen. We're at $20,500. Between landscaping, hopefully we won't have to do too much electrical. We definitely have to paint. Let's do paint. Paint for an 1,800 square foot house. $2,500. So what did I say? 20,500. So that's 22,000. That's 23,000. Paint on the outside. Definitely going to need paint on the outside. They're going to be at another 3,000. So that's
It's
20.
vinyl on the outside. Is that paintable? I thought vinyl, you don't, I don't know, but vinyl.
I think
don't know.
I'm just trying to remember back from the pictures. It didn't look like it was freshly painted.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, I don't want to go back to the picture. So you're probably sitting around, I'd say at least about $35,000. It starts to add up, especially we haven't even done the flooring, right? It might, if it needs a roof, if the roof is old. Matter of fact, if all the other properties sold had a new roof, we got to put a new roof on, because we can't compare it and sell it at 214 and all the other houses had new roofs and ours has a 10-year-old roof, right? Even though it's not leaking. So you're probably sitting at $35,000 for repairs. So we'll subtract $35K. What does she want to walk away with?
20.
20. Okay, she wants to walk away with 20. So somebody do that 150, 360 minus 35K. What is that? 150, 360 minus 35. Appreciate it. 115, 360. Okay. And she wants to work. How much does she owe in the house?
She owes $183,000.
Oh my gosh. What do you mean she owes $183,000?
She says the note on the mortgage is $183,000. That's what she told me.
Okay, so she can't walk away with nothing. So this is all right. So this is not a lost cause.
Okay.
This is not a lost cause. But let's just see something here. Is she behind on her mortgage?
No, she didn't indicate that to me. I didn't ask, but she didn't say that she was. She just told me she got a new job, and that's why she moved. But she said nothing about being behind on her mortgage.
Okay,
she says,
so
she owes approximately $183,000. That's right.
There's no way she's getting $183,000 from a wholesale deal. Just from the basic math, at ARV of 214, the end investor has to be all in at 150, 360.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a mortgage of 183. Wholesaling is dead. There's no way we can do a wholesale deal off this.
Okay.
So then we have to see, can we do this with a subject to what is the property currently worth? I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just going to tell you right now, it doesn't sound like this is going to be something that you can do even as a subject to.
Okay.
You might be able to do something with a lease option. Okay. Meaning that, let's just get rid of all this because none of this matters now at this point. You might be able to, so pay attention, guys. So this is if the person needs to get out of this problem, this is how we can do this. So really the real number is this 183,000. Okay. I know this is a little more than just wholesaling, but just stay with me. You might not get it right away, but it might ring a bell, 2 months from now. I'm like, oh, I remember when I watched this. So 183,000 is the real number. You're going to have to have this hard conversation with her, and you're going to have to listen. What's her name?
Jennifer.
Man, I'm looking at the properties in the neighborhood. We have properties that are completely renovated, that are bigger than yours, that are selling for $214,900. Now, your mortgage is $183,000, and you've been doing a fantastic job keeping up on your mortgage. Please keep doing that. But at $183,000, you want me to throw another $20,000 on top of it so that you could get paid. There is no way that we can do that. There's no way that it can happen where you can actually you can get this thing sold at $203,000. You can see, it's on Zillow for $200,000 and no one's bought it, right? It's because no one's bought it because you have your competition in your neighborhood that has fully renovated homes. Just look at the picture of this one on Robin Drive, right? It sold for 214. You know the difference between 203 and $214,000 on a monthly mortgage is like $20, right? It's not that. No one's going to spend $203,000 on this house. I hate to be the person to break that news to you. What was you say her name was? Karen?
Jennifer.
I was close. Jennifer. Hate to be the person to break this bad news to you, Jennifer, but I do want to see about helping you out through your problem, and maybe maybe there's a solution, and this would be something like a lease option, okay, where I can help someone get you into this property, because the main thing is that you're moving, because you got this great job and things are happening, but you don't want to take care of 2 property payments, right? But you don't want to deal with a headache of tenants either. So maybe we can get you a lease option payment. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to find someone who wants to get into this property and wants to pay a certain amount. We're going to go for about $200,000. Okay. Now I just told you that you can't sell this property for $200,000. You're right. But this is how this is going to work. We're going to lock them in, right, on an option, right? We're going to lock them in on an option for $200K. Now, the only thing is that you're going to have to wait on this $200K, okay? You're not going to get it right away, because in the condition that your property is in, you can't get this. You can't get this $200K. You might be able to get this 183, 185. You're not going to get 200. But this is the only way that I can help you get your close to $20,000. You have to do it over time, okay? But the good thing is that we're going to screen somebody. They're going to go ahead and they're going to put in a down payment. Now, typically, what I'd like to see in something like this is close to, we try to say 10%, but I kind of feel like this would be a little bit much for someone to handle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to require a 10% down option price. Excuse me, don't say down payment. 10% option price. I'm sorry, 5% option price. So 5% of 200,000 is going to be what? $10,000. Okay. So this is our option price. Now, what I'm going to do for you, Jennifer, is I'm going to find this, I'm going to collect this, and I'm going to give you 50% of this. I'm going to do all the work. I'm going to find the person. We're going to screen them. You obviously make the final decision. Once they put this 10K down, I'm going to give you $5,000 to help you move so you can move on with your life, right? Get to the new place that you're going. So we're going to be splitting this, right? So 5K is going to go to Jen, all right? So you're getting $5,000 up front. 5K is going to me, but $10,000, we're going to decrease this lock-in price by 10K, okay? We're going to decrease this by 10K. So now they owe what? 190. We're going to give them whatever you feel is a good amount, Jennifer, of time. Now, I suggest you don't do anything less than 12 months, but you should probably be no more than 24 months. So they're going to have 12 to 24 months to fix, because you got to understand, the person that's doing this, for whatever reason, they can't get a conventional loan. Does that make sense? They don't have the credit, they don't have the job history or whatever, right? They have 12 to 24 months to get a conventional loan. So that means this option only is good for 12 to 24 months, unless you decide to extend it, okay? In the meantime, you've already received $5,000. Jen has already received 5K in her bank account, okay? And whoever this person who has this option is now they're also paying the mortgage. And paying the mortgage and then some, because we're going to pay mortgage and we're going to do a little extra so that more money can go in Jen's pocket. So do you know what the mortgage payment is on this property?
Not off the top of my head. No, I don't.
Let's say the mortgage, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Let's say all that comes to, $1,200, right? Mm-hmm. What we're going to do charging for rent is, let me undo. What we're going to do charging for rent is we'll probably charge market rent in Mays Landing. What is Mays Landing's market rent for a house that size?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we're gonna have to find that out, but it's probably that size. I'm trying to remember Mays Landing. I haven't been there, actually, I don't know if I've ever been to Mays Landing in Jersey, but we're probably around 1,700. Does that sound about right for a 3-bedroom?
Yeah, probably even a little bit more, but we could say that.
So about, what do you think, a little bit more, 2,000 more or 1,800, 19?
Easily 19.
Okay, easily 19. So they're going to pay $1,900 a month, but they've locked in this price. They have first right of refusal. Okay, they have first right of refusal to buy this property. Jen's mortgage is $1,200. Excuse me. She's collecting $1,900. This is good because when this person goes to the bank, they can say, "Hey, I've been paying $1,900. Of course, I can handle $1,200." Right? So that's a difference of $700. Right? So we got $700 over the course of 24 months. That's an additional. So you guys understand what I did there, right? That this is the rent. Let me just write this down. So this is rent and $1,200 mortgage. I'm just kind of eyeballing that on a house that age, and what Jen probably originally got it for. So we got a difference of $700, right? 700 times the 24 months, right? If Jen decides to do it for that long, 700 times 24 months equals 16,800. Now, Jen, what did I promise you? I promised you were going to get your 20K, right? Well, you got 16,800 from rental income plus the 5K plus the 5,000, right? You actually made 21,800. You were only looking for 20,000. Okay? 21,000. You're just going to take a little bit of time. You're going to get 5K up front, but you're going to get $700 a month once I find this person for you. And that's why I'm charging you $5,000 to do it, because I want to be thorough and make sure I go through this process. Okay? So that really is like not the only option, but that's a good one for you to go with, because she just owes way too much. She owes too much.
My question with that hypothetical $1,900, well, $1,900. So that's the mortgage. That's what let's say that she's accustomed paying every month for her mortgage.
No, the mortgage is the $1,200. Remember, I asked you what's the rent. So the mortgage, I'm looking at this loan of 183 and looking at the neighborhood of $214,000, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying it's probably around $1,200, maybe $1,300. Yeah. For mortgage. Yeah. Okay. Right. So if it's $1,200 and we can get $1,900 in rent, the difference is $700 a month.
Right.
Okay. But these are all hypotheticals because we don't have real numbers. But now you know what to look for and how to structure it so you can still get paid, right? Because out of this 10, 5 is going to Jen, and the other 5 is going to Susie, right? And then out of that 5 from Susie, so you got 5K here. Out of that 5 from Susie, 2,000 is going to Cancun. All right. No, don't worry about that part. But you see how this goes from, oh, I'm a wholesaler. Oh, this doesn't work a wholesale deal. So I just leave it alone and it's dead. And then someone like myself will come behind you and say, well, hold on, there's another option. Let's just, I want to solve your problem. Your problem is that you don't want to pay for 2 properties, right? You want to put some money in your pocket. Let me give you I'm just be honest with you. We can't do it the way that you're traditionally trying to do it. It's not going to happen. Because even if she was able to sell it at $200,000 right now, she still has to pay. She's still paying a real estate agent, whoever she has it listed with on Zillow. Right. She's still paying them 6%, right? Right. So that's $12,000 right there. So she's still not going to get it. So you just have to make sure that she's aware of those things, right? Because she might not be aware. She might not be thinking about. She's on 200,000. I only own 183. I'm gonna put that difference in my pocket. No. Okay. All right.
Gotcha. Right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm sorry, guys. I can't see the chat and talk. I'm focused when I'm trying to do this. Please forgive me. Ramona. Thank you, Dominic. Ramona. Lower your hand. You're up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not really in reference to wholesaling, but would you mind I ask you your thoughts about this one flip I'm working on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you heard me say that the air handler was stolen, so that's all been
Yeah.
taken care of. So I'm getting a really good idea of how to deal with a moderate rehab, which is a little bit more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So in any event, it's going to be on the market. Well, it's on the market right now, but I'll be completely finished with it in about a week. And if it doesn't sell, I would like to keep it as a rental. However, I purchased it in my flipping company. And so I imagine I would need to sell it, purchase and sale agreement to my holding company. Is that what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So talking about for tax purposes or just for business in general?
Well, because if it's in my flipping company, my active business company, I'd pay at least 28% taxes on rent, and I don't want to do that.
Yep.
So I imagine I'm going to sell it to my other company.
Your holding company?
Yes.
All right.
And then I would want to finance it. I want to get my cash back out because I've funded the entire project.
Okay. So you're just going to do a refi from, it's essentially no different than if you're refining it, selling it to someone else, right? Because two different companies are, as far as IRS is concerned, just like two different people. They have their own EINs, right? So you're going to go from one company to the next company so you can free up the cash and in between refinance out of it. You're going to refinance. When you get to the holding company?
If I don't sell it, because I actually kind of wanted to buy it initially as a rental because it'll cash flow very well. But then I just thought I'd try flipping it.
Okay. So I would get a little bit more clarity on with a CPA on, but I'm thinking, and don't quote me on this because I'm definitely not a CPA, so don't nobody try to take me to court. But I would sell it from your flipping company because you're going to refi. The value of it is not going to change, right? But if you're going to refinance it in the holding company over here, where you're going to rent it out, refinance it, then you get your money back, right?
Right.
But sell it from here to the holding company for a net loss, or just like basically zero it out, okay? Or maybe even maybe you can even take a loss of it so you can write that off. You understand what I'm saying? So you take a loss from one side because it's a different person, right?
Right.
No different than if it was my house and you were the person I'm trying to sell it to, right? I took a loss on that, right? Tax purposes. And over here, you're refinancing out on this side. You understand?
Okay.
So you still get your money back, right? It's just coming back from a different company, your holding company. But here you also get to take the loss from your flipping company.
Okay.
So talk with an accountant about that to see. I've never done that, just to be honest just be clear with you. I'm just thinking through the problem.
Okay.
I know when I take a loss on a property, I can use that to my advantage for a tax break.
Okay.
Right. So if I do, because if I take a win on one side, I take a win on both sides, then I'm paying taxes on both sides.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Versus just paying taxes on one. You're still gonna pay taxes. It's just I'd rather just pay taxes on one than both.
Okay. I would imagine I'd pay taxes. So if let's say I would sell it for the ARV. Then
you would sell it if you sell it for the ARV, you're going to pay taxes on that because hopefully your all in is less than your ARV. You're going to pay taxes on the difference.
Right. Right.
So what I'm saying is that because it's just going let's be real, because it's just really going from you to you. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're all in it for, I'm just making up this number. If you're all in it for 170, sell it to the holding company for 170. but it doesn't
Okay.
mean that it's worth 170 because the ARV is now 250 or whatever the ARV is. And now you're going to refinance it from here. But from the flipping company, you made no profit.
Okay. I
But
gotcha.
on the AR on this one, your profit is now you bought it as a you bought it for one. Like I said, I just made that number up. I don't whatever your number is, insert that number. 170. I got it for 170. I didn't make a profit off of that. There's no capital gains to be made off of that, right? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no capital gains taxes to be made off of it because you made zero profit.
Okay.
All right. But now you got it in a long-term rental that you're going to pay, obviously, income taxes off of the income, but you're paying it off over the course of however long you decide to keep the property for. And if you bought it in an opportunity zone, you do it in 10 years. If you hold it for 10 years, you don't pay any taxes on it.
I don't know if it's in an opportunity zone. It could
Oh,
be.
just check it. It's easy. Just type in opportunity zone. You're in Jacksonville, so
Mhm.
you can go there and find that out. IRS will have that information. IRS.gov.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
You see what I'm saying? So, but if you
Yeah.
take a profit, you're going to have to pay short-term capital gains on that profit.
Right. Gotcha. I hadn't really thought about that.
Refinancing and buying it for a profit are not the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You
So
don't pay short-term capital gains on refinancing your property.
you don't pay any capital gains on refinancing, correct?
Exactly. So
Okay.
what's the end goal? To get your money back, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if you get it again, going for that 170 and just using that as an example, but it's worth 250. And let me see. I'm just do the math here. Unless you just want to give real numbers. You want to go with real numbers? Your real numbers?
I can give real numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think the ARV would be? What do you think it would appraise at?
About 90.
About 90.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the what's your all in? Where are you at expense wise? What are you in for?
All in, I'm at 67.
67.
Mm-hmm.
So you refinance, there's a difference of $23,000. So you have to have let me see, 90 times point. You said for 67?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there's some banks out there that would give you 80% LTV, loan to value. So
Okay.
80%, that's $72,000. Okay.
Okay.
So that means you can refinance, put that $67,000 back into your pocket, and have another $5,000 left over that you're not paying capital gains or any taxes on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Check it with your accountant, but that would be the strategy that I would
Okay.
say. Hey, let me just transfer this thing over, quick claim deed it over to my holding company for a zero profit. And then once it's in there, okay, this is my holding company. All we do is just hold it for 10 years, right? 15 years, 20 years.
Okay. So just
right?
quit claim it. I don't have to do a purchase and sale agreement.
No, just quit claim it over there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go from there and then refinance it. And now you got all your money back out of it, but you didn't pay any capital. You didn't pay any gains, any taxes on it.
Okay.
Make
Awesome.
sense?
Yep.
Cool.
And then, so, mortgage on 72K, I'll be looking at rent. If I do, what's that called? The government rent subsidy thing. What is that thing called again? I'm having a brain cramp.
Section 8.
Thank you so much. That's it. Section 8. Section 8 on a 3-bedroom, I think, is around 12 or 1,300 here in Jacksonville a month.
So 72, you're looking at divided by 60 on a 30-year mortgage. And, yeah, man, you're talking like less than $500.
It's nice cash flow right there, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And yeah, so you're that'd be the way that I would go.
Okay. So keeping it is not a bad idea.
It's not. No.
You think I kind of think that's better than selling it.
It is. You're getting all your money back plus 5K plus you're getting because the difference between 72,000 and 90,000 is only $18,000, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're doing that, and you said Section 8 is how much?
I think it's on a 3-bedroom. I think it's either 12 or 1,300.
Let's go on the low end, 1,200, and we subtract, let's say your mortgage, taxes, insurance is $500, that's $700. So over the course of 2 years, we already came up with that, right?
Yep.
That's another 16,800 plus the 5 that you got. So you in 2 years, you're making more money anyway.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. This is good, guys, because these are things that, again, the coaching calls are not designed just for wholesaling, right? Wholesaling is cool, but wholesaling is a job. I promise you, it's a job, okay? So being exposed to different things like this, conversations from other people. There's some people in here that didn't think to ask that question, right? So being exposed to be able to those things is pretty cool. Barnabas, what's up? I'm gonna unmute you and lower your hand.
Hey, all right. So, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just low. It's just low, brother.
Okay, maybe I can just speak up a little bit.
There you go.
All right. So, one of the things I do is I also prospect on auction properties online, and I had won a couple, and there was one that I just didn't go for it because I found out, just being that it was so far from where I live, I found out that one part of the house was blown out. So when I drove up to it after I won the auction online, I just couldn't proceed forward. So my account got suspended just because the bank was desperate to sell the property. So I was just wondering, what's your strategy with like online auctions? Do you actually go to all those properties beforehand, or do you also just hopefully win some auctions and then you go and check out the properties later on? What's your strategy?
So do you use what, like auction.com? Is that what you used?
Yeah, I used this one was Zome.com.
What's it called?
Zome, Xome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So to be honest with you, I've only purchased one property through an auction, and it was a private auction. A lot of and I know Jason, he did a lot of properties with auction.com, like some of these public auction joints. But I haven't had the same experience. I haven't really had good experience with it, so I really don't use it. The one time that I purchased a property for, I think I got it for, man, I forgot how much it was. It was like $7,000 or something like that in Macon. All right. I purchased it, and I had seen the property because the properties came out on the list, and I drove past it first. I saw the condition that it was. I didn't go inside of it because it was actually a tenant inside of it already. So I would suggest, they normally give you a little bit of a leeway with the list, right? That you at least go buy it. Was it in a different state or something?
No, it was just in a different county. This was way south. So right now I'm in New York. So I usually just, prospect on properties in Jersey.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I only go down to it once I win the auction.
Okay, so so this is a very difficult question because different auctioneers have different rules. So you have to be a little more, just do a little more due diligence on which auction, what the rules are, because some of them give you a certain amount of time. Some of them are like, no, boom, as soon as you win the bid, it's yours, right? So I would do that a little more research on the next one. I wouldn't just use this one. And like I said, I've only done private auctions, and I've only done it once. So I'm not the most knowledgeable on it. But hopefully this experience at least tells you, okay, I at least need to figure out, do they give me some leeway? Do they give me so many days to do it? Most of them don't. Most of them want you to do it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, sorry, man. That kind of sucks, but it's just one, that's their loss. You'll find some more properties.
All right.
Cool, man.
Thanks.
And Denard, shoot. Trying to unmute you, Denard.
Hello.
There we go.
What's going on, Tim?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right. It was just about the 90-day challenge. With the reel, like I'm on Meetup, and that's how I look for the reels. And on it, like they don't have like a every week reel down here. So I was just trying to see what's like an alternative, like if I can't go every week to the reel.
They don't have a RIA every week where you're at?
If they do, I guess I don't have the right information. So I'm looking on Meetup and I
Where
don't see it.
where are you at?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge. Let me go to my Meetup joint. Pull up your Meetup right now. Baton Rouge is a decent sized city. They should have most. So when you look at these on Meetup, and if you guys don't know where to find, that's what I was saying, is go to meetup.com. It's a free app. Let me see.
I just type in the Explorer. I just type in real estate or real and just see what pop up. That's how I look it up.
Yeah, and so Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and let's search.
And I had a question about I think Susan. It was just after you answered that.
Okay, so there's one Tuesday, October 8th.
Yeah, I think that's like the only one I've seen on the Excel.
Let me see. Anytime, morning, upcoming, all upcoming. There's got to be more. And Baton Rouge is a decent size. All right. So what I did, okay, yeah, there is. Oh, no, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't know why it took me back to Atlanta. Check to see if the date section is on there or if it's recommended. So before it was recommended, the recommended ones, for some reason, it only gave me one. But I don't know why it moved me back to Atlanta every time I click on something. It doesn't want to let me.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to help, but go to that one. Look on Facebook. All right. There's groups in Facebook that you can take a look at for your area to find RIAs. They might be virtual, right? There might be ones that are all virtual, right? But try to find someone. I'm guarantee you, Baton Rouge is a big enough place where there's more than one RIA a month.
Okay. And with Susan's question, I would say, like, how do you like qualify the end buyer, the person who's like paying the 19? I know you were saying like they somebody who can't get approved for a conventional loan, and if they was to like agree to, because I kind of had a situation where I was trying to talk to them about the lease option, and if they was to have a situation where they was trying to get a lease option, basically they are saying, hey, I paid $1,900 rent. I'm just using Susan's situation. I paid $1,900 on the $1,200 mortgage, so they basically taking it to the loan company, the banks, and letting them know, hey, I was able to pay $19 on the 12. That's how it's benefiting them.
So yeah, so over the course of 2 years, this person is going to hopefully. So let me back up real quick. Is statistically a lease option home is going to go through that process about 4 times before someone actually exercises the option. Okay. So that home is going to get somebody's going to put $10,000 down on average. That's going to happen, and they're going to try to fix their credit, especially if it's a 12-month lease option. Because being realistic, I mean, you've been living with broken credit for the last 37 years. The 38th year, all of a sudden, it's probably not going to happen, right? So realistically, what happens is they think they want to get it. They put their $10,000 down, and it's on them. It's not on you. It's not on the homeowner. It's on them to fix whatever credit issues or job issues or tax issues that they can fix so that they can qualify. I think being an ethical person, to structure it over the course of 24 months really gives them the best option. Because if we only do it because contractually after 12 months, like if they literally after 12 months, according to contract, if they don't find a lender to give them the loan, that's a wrap, right? After 12 months. So what does that actually look like? You can't look for a loan on day 360 out of 365. That means your credit and whatever you had going on with your life had to get fixed 3-4 months beforehand before you could even, you see what I'm saying? So 12 months is really pushing for someone to be able to do that. That's why a lot of them fail, right? So I like to kind of give them at least 24 months, because 24 months, you have the time to fix it up in that first year. You really have like a good year and a half after that, and now you should be ready to go, right? To get that loan. So what you're looking for, number one, is someone who has money, because they're gonna have to put $10,000 up. And I probably want to have to see them. I probably would want them to have an additional 3 to 4 months of savings of the mortgage payment or the rent payment, excuse me, of that $1,900 in Susie's example, saved up. Okay, I want to see that they have a good steady job, that they've been working there for at least a year, right? But this is my qualifications, right? So I want to see if they have a good steady job, that they've been working for a year, and I just want to get a good, like, pull the credit, all those good things. I just want to see who they really are, right? And then to make a determination whether or not, okay, this would be a good fit, right? The main thing is that, number one, just having $10,000, I know a lot of people are not going to have that, right? So do they have the $10,000 that's going to knock out 90% of the people that apply?
Okay.
And the way you find that is just put a bandit sign in areas and say rent to own. Trust me, rent to own homes, people call them all day. Everybody wants to rent to own. Especially, oh my gosh, Susie, going into tax season, everybody's going to be wanting to rent to own. That's like one of the biggest things. They get their tax return. Now they got this chunk of change, and it's burning a hole in their pocket, and it needs to get out of their pocket.
I got it. So that's why I basically was asking, like, how you go by marketing to find those type of people. But I got it.
I learned that from Tony Robinson Sr., man. I'm paid for his mentorship thing. He was like, he would just put in rent to own, and was it 3-bedroom, 3-bath? I think it was 1,800 square feet, right, Susie? So 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,800 square feet, rent to own. Call this number. Bum, 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 bum. They're going to be ringing the phone off the hook. It's going to be going crazy. Okay? And then you just got to qualify them.
All right. Well, that's all. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if they helps with the reels, because I was looking for them, and like I said, I only seen the one. And like sometimes I ain't see that many, so sometimes the day I'm not free the day that they have, and I don't get to go to, so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Lenny said hook them up with a credit repair company. That usually costs about $300. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea as well.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, man. Agatha.
Hey, Tommy.
How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. I have a similar situation to Susie's. The difference is two things. One, the family may be upside down on the mortgage. And secondly, they are potentially going to be going into foreclosure soon.
Okay, so that was the one we talked about.
Yes.
Okay, so we got numbers on that one?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
All right, let's just clear all this. Okay, so what is the ARV?
It is 143, 462.
143. I'm just gonna put 143.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and what is owed on the mortgage?
So she's not exactly sure, but one of she has two. So one she knows is 90,000. She believes that is lower. And the second one, she's not sure, but she did mention originally, I think it was around 40,000. And, but she also mentioned that they have, I think, 40,000 in equity.
Okay, so the 40,000 in equity is going to determine on the ARV, right? So this is obviously 130K, right? But if the ARV is 143, there's no way they can have 40,000 in equity. See how we can decipher through the bull, right?
Okay.
You can't tell me that, I mean, unless this ARV is off, right? But if the after repair value on this property, which means after they fix it up, is worth 143, but combined, you owe $130,000.
Yeah, she's not sure. She is going to call the banks tomorrow and get the information for me.
How long has she been in that house?
Well, it's her grandmother's home, but the house, they built the house, she said, back in the early 80s.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to get this number. Like, this has to be solid. So let me see. Let me show you here.
Mhm.
This is the benefit about being in the course because of. Hold on, where are we at? All right. So as we go here, which is what you're gonna have them fill out in the download section of the course, right? Download section. You scroll down. Subject to mortgage, subject to addendums. I think it's in this portion right here. Oh, that's the addendums and docs. Hold on, let me go back. Oh, right here. Man, it's right in front of my face. Subject to mortgage authorization release form. Really simple form. Once this thing loads up, you're gonna say, hey, here's the address, the lender, loan number, contact number, to whom it may concern. This letter authorizes the release of any and all mortgage information and mortgage payoff information or request to name of authorized party, which would be you. The borrower is her, and the borrower, I guess, is her mother, and co-borrower would be her if she's on there with their social security number. And then they're gonna sign that. They're gonna send this back to you. You're gonna fax this or scan it, send it into the mortgage company. They're going to double check with them to say, hey, is this true? They're going to say yes. She can have access to my mortgage information. And now you are going to trust them, but you're going to verify through this information right here. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So you guys are going to go to the download section. I'm telling you, I thought of everything. We're in there. Just go ahead and download this out, fill it out, have her sign it, go ahead and submit it. And then now you can get real numbers. Because if you rely on her, she's against the clock right now. Let me go back to here. Can you guys, did I even share the screen? Did you guys see it?
No.
No.
Oh, y'all was just gonna have me out here looking crazy. Okay. Wasn't nobody gonna tell me? Nobody was gonna say, hey, we can't see nothing you showing us?
Well, we knew what you were talking about.
All right. So here it is in the download section. I gotta do that whole thing over again. Go here in the download section. It's right here, subject to mortgage authorization form right here. All right. Yeah. Once you click on it, it opens up to this form right here. Property address, lender services, loan number, contact number, your name right here.
Okay.
Borrower, co-borrower, if there is one with their social security number, you're going to send that in, and then you're good.
Okay, perfect.
Right. Because we can't do anything without those numbers.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Dominic, my man, what's going on, brother?
Brother, man, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm well, man. Thanks for being here.
Likewise, man. Hey, man, once again, man, I appreciate you, dropping your knowledge, man, and sharing with us, man. I think you've gone well beyond wholesaling, man, and I do greatly appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
Go. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No. I appreciate it, man. I'm just, all the stuff that I'm paying for to learn, I want to pass that on.
Appreciate you.
These things are coming in handy. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, the first question: are you still doing on the 10th? Are you still doing the meetup on the second Thursday?
I am doing it. You know how I do, man. I guess I always forget to promote it to like the last day. So yes,
I got you. And I haven't been in a minute, but I will be there. I got 3 kids, man. So I'll try my damnedest to be there.
I got you.
And so I have a question for you, but it's in regards to the short-term rental arbitrage, but I'll save that for Thursday. The question I had was kind of going back to when you were doing the lease option. And the question I wanted, whenever you run into situations where you think it'll be like a pretty decent lease option situation, do you, the one you did before seemed like it was a sandwich lease option, but did you, I'm trying to figure out where you capitalize on it, because I get that you took the $5,000, that you split the $10,000 option fee. Mm-hmm. Position yourself personally to where you just take half of that and then you let the owner do her thing with it, and you're just out of it?
And that particular one, because it's such a small amount, right? There's really no room for me to make too much more money on the other end, right?
Gotcha.
Normally I'm taking the whole lease option, but she said in this particular case that her person wanted 20K, right?
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I was just doing some quick math in my head. So if I can give her 5 up front and get this thing rented at, somewhere between, $600 to $700 a month on top of what her mortgage is, we can
Gotcha.
over 24 months. I was just doing quick math thinking, okay, we probably can get her somewhere close to that 20. And it just happened to work out just over 21.
Gotcha.
But there's some cases where man, I just need to get out of this problem. I got this other house that I'm paying on. I just need someone else to manage the mortgage, right? Then you can go in there and you can capitalize and say, listen, I'm going to manage this thing, and $700 a month.
Hey, 400.
Hey, I'll give you 400. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going off of what she told me, that she needed 20K or she wanted 20K.
Okay. Have you ever done any where you just do the lease option assignments where you literally just
you find it?
You find it and sell it off, and then you're completely out of it?
Easy.
That's
pretty much what I just did.
Okay.
For hers.
Okay, so you just took that 5,000 as your assignment fee.
I turned everything off over to the homeowner, which what was her name? Jackie, whatever her name was, Karen. Right? Turned it all over to
Jennifer.
Jennifer. I turned it all over to Jennifer, and now that tenant and everything that comes with that tenant collecting payment, that's all Jennifer's problem at that point.
Okay, cool. Is that like the cleanest way, if you're dealing with lease options, is that like the cleanest way to get in, get out as far as?
I mean, exactly. It's very clean because you no longer, you've solved the problem from then. But if 12 months down the road, the person that we put in there, they lose their job, you're out of it at that point, right? You're not trying, you don't want that to happen, obviously.
Right.
But a crystal ball, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. They might, the very next month, God forbid, they get into a car wreck and pass away. Like, you have no idea, just like we don't know.
Gotcha.
Right? But when you say clean, yeah, I'm in and out. There's nothing else. I'm not attached to it at any point at that point.
Gotcha.
Service, and you got paid your $5,000. In her particular case, you got paid $5,000 for providing a service on a house that you wouldn't have been able to wholesale.
Gotcha. The leads from that, I know as far as putting the rent to own signs, because there's a million, rent to own signs. But as far as qualifying the quality people, do you do that yourself when they call, or do you use like realtors or mortgage brokers or anybody that?
Yeah, well, I do have TLO, so I have that unfair advantage. I'll be able to pull the credit and stuff like that. But you can get with a property manager or someone else that's managing property, because they typically have similar software where they can pull credit. And there's some places online where you can do it too. You just got to pay for it. You might have to pay $100 or something like that to pull somebody's credit.
Brother, how much do you charge to pull credit?
I stick away with,
put yourself out there.
I want to keep my TLO. TLO.
There you go. I'm with you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah, man.
All right. Hey, I'll see you on Thursday, man.
All right, brother. All right. Man, we've been on here for an hour and 47 minutes. I love it, man. I don't know about you. I'm tired, but I feel like it's just something about being around like the same energy, like people that are moving in the same direction, that we all want the same things. We want, we're willing to invest in ourselves. Like, there's something about that, man, that always makes me feel good once I get off the call, and I hope you guys are feeling the same thing. There's a lot of stuff in the chat, and I can't really go through all of it. I'd be here for the next 30 minutes going through it. But I really appreciate you guys staying on for this long. This definitely shows whether or not you're serious about this. Because as you can see, remember, I always tell you guys, man, if you walk away from this program and you are only a wholesaler, then I have failed you miserably. The whole idea is to expose you guys to so many different things, so many different ways in real estate. And eventually, I want you guys thinking about, well, how there's problems within the real estate, right? Within the real estate market that doesn't require you to sell a house. I told you guys already that I created a website that fills a void for finding investor-friendly closing attorneys, okay? Because there was none. So now I have a database of investor-friendly closing attorneys through all 50 states, okay? And it's free. Well, I want you guys thinking about things like this, right? Because I want everybody on this call eventually, if you want to be multimillionaires, right? And you can do that through real estate. That's one,
right? But you can also do that through having tools, okay? All right. So you're in an industry that is just riddled with problems. And all you got to do is identify a problem and figure out a good solution on how to fix it. And I promise you, people like wholesalers, let's be real with you. Let's just keep it 100, right? You guys had a problem of wanting to wholesale. I fixed the problem and you guys paid to be in the program, right? So is it real estate? Yes. Right? We're talking about real estate, but am I selling a house right now? No, I'm selling a solution to a problem. Susie had a problem. So we talked about the solution today. Susie next month might have another problem and I'm going to do my best to fix that problem, right? There are problems in real estate that you guys are experiencing as an investor that you just need to have your mind, your ears, your heart, your spirit open to so you can provide solutions. Do not walk away from this thing and just be the #1 wholesaler in America. You're worth more than that. Okay, you're worth more than that. There's other things that you can do. Okay, so just you got to be aware of it. First of all, you got to be knowledgeable to know what the problem is, right? And then we have to come up with some solutions. So let's work on these things together, man. There's so many different business ideas. You guys are brilliant. If anybody hasn't told you today, you are all brilliant, right? You guys have so many different talents, right? Things that I can't even imagine to do. Someone in here, chances are pretty much everybody in here has a gift that they can capitalize off of. We just got to look for it. We just have to find that problem to solve it, okay? So let's go ahead and keep killing this thing, man. I need everybody on that Cancun trip. So we got 90 days, the 90-day challenge, man. 90-day challenge. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody out here. Sean,
When is it, Tommy?
That's a good question. August 29th through September 2nd of 2020. It is a adult only. All right. It's when you pay, just understand that includes everything, right? So the only thing that you're not going to pay with me is flight, because that would be crazy trying to figure out flights for everybody across the country. But with the travel people who are putting this together, which they're going to be on next Sunday. Okay. They're going to be on next Sunday. They said that for Cancun is pretty steady. The prices for flying on pretty much anywhere is like $350 to $450. Okay. So, the pricing we're going to have all next week is really going to depend on, do you want to stay, and all the rooms are nice, but if you want to stay in the regular room, or do you want to stay in the junior deluxe, or the whatever the names are, you know how hotels, they try to, make the names crazy. If you want to swim if you want to have the one with your own private pool, obviously you're going to pay a little bit more, right? If you want to not bunk with someone, if you guys want to share rooms, it goes down even more, right? So it just depends on what you want to do. Okay. But I think the cheapest one, if you shared a room, and this is everything included, all your food, we stayed in the resort in Dominican Republic. It's the same resort that's in Cancun. The same people own it. So it's the same type of style, man. And 2:00 in the morning, you want steaks and you want champagne, it's all covered. You don't pay for anything. You can pretty much don't leave your wallet at home because you're in a different country. But you know what I'm saying? You can pretty much put your wallet in I didn't pay for a thing. They don't ask you to tip. Now, if you want to tip, you can, but all the drinks you can have, I don't drink, but if you want to go ahead and knock out tequila, Ramona, you said you love tequila. If you want to drink to your heart's content, just make sure that you're awake enough for the real estate seminar. All right, Stacy. All right. We know about that Boone's Farm, Stacy. Stay away from them Boone's Farm. I'm showing my age on that one. That Boone's Farm, that Banana Red, boy. I'm sorry, that's Mad Dog 2020. So all that stuff is included. All right. Somebody said Thunderbird. You stupid. It's the Bravada. Yeah. Bravada Resorts, I think is what they're called.
Yo, Tommy.
Yes.
You hear me? Yeah.
Yep.
So I had a question as well, like pertaining to Susie's deal that she was trying to go over with on Zillow.
Okay.
I wanted to know, couldn't you still stay in that deal and create a lot more profit for yourself than just the $5,000 Would you be able to stay in it and get paid on the back end as well as the middle?
Based off of what she said, if that person wants 20,000, right? I think we were up over 21,000 and some change. Maybe she could make another 1,000 if she wanted to stay in it for the next 2 years. She could do, she could be the one where she does a wraparound mortgage, right? Where the seller is basically writing a mortgage to her.
Right.
And then Susie's making that extra $700 a month. But that wouldn't fit with, because I just purely based it off of what Susie's example was, where the seller wanted $20,000.
Well, you said her mortgage was $180,000, right? That's what her mortgage was.
183.
183. Couldn't you write up a price with the seller for, let's say, 203 if she wants 20,000 out of it, and she said the ARV was 214,000. Couldn't you write up the sales price with the seller for 203,000? Have that, on a turn for
the problem. Yeah, I know what you're going with that, but the problem was the house wasn't worth 214. So remember, I don't know if you saw, there was the example of one of the comps sold at 214.9. It was bigger and it was nicer. Okay. So you're talking about 183, but you're forgetting that we got to fix it up to make it 214.
Right.
So at 183, we'll be lucky if we sell it at that 203. Right? But the reason why we're able to sell it at the 203 is because we found someone who wants to do a lease option who has no other option of getting into a home. So they're willing to say, okay, I'll go into this thing at 203, even though it's probably only worth 190 at this point, the way it's fixed up as it is right now. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So given her example, there really isn't too much else that she could do.
Right. Okay.
Because in order to get it to that 214, we got to spend money, which then defeats the purpose of that whole system. If we spend $30,000 to fix it, we're in over our head.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
I like the way you're thinking, though. I like the way you're thinking.
Right.
I like the way you're thinking, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Now back to this Thunderbird. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so let's get together, man. I'd love to, so many people, man, from all across the country, East Coast to the West Coast, up there in Boston, right? Down there to Florida. Like I said, she just head snapped. That Boston accent. All the way down to Florida, right? All over Texas. We got so many people that we've seen faces, but we haven't seen. So let's try to plan on it. The down payment to get into this thing is going to be $397, and dependent on what room you get, like the payments are literally like $118. I think is the cheapest one. $110 is the cheapest one, somewhere around there a month.
When is the down payment due?
The down payment, well, I have to come up with a certain amount by the 15th. So I'm going to try to raise as much as that for the down payment before the 15th. But every month that you wait to put the down payment on, obviously, because we're basing it, I think, off of the last payment being in June, I believe. I think we have to be paid up 60 days out. So the last payment is due in June. So if you wait a month, obviously, it throws all the numbers off, because I think it's $397 for the cheapest room and like $118 a month. But if you wait one more month, it's not going to be $118 a month anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. So you got the June basis to pay it all by June.
Yeah. Some people might have the funds to be able to pay it all off in one shot and be done with it. Cool, right? Perfect. Some people might want to break it up into 2 payments, whatever you want to do. But if you want to pay on a monthly basis, the lowest amount, obviously you want to start that as soon as possible. Okay. So anyway, yeah, man, let's try to work on this thing. So, you put the investment into it, but someone else pays for it. It'd be a nice little gift for yourself.
So do they have a cutoff on rooms? Like, is it a certain amount?
Well, that's why I have to pay a certain amount regardless to hold rooms by the 15th. Right. So I have to pay for that, and I have to pay for the conference hall and audio visual stuff. I have to put a decent down payment on it to hold the rooms. That's why I'm trying to get an idea of who wants to do it, so I know how much I need to spend.
When the 15th of October?
October.
Wow,
You don't have
okay.
to pay by October. Like I just have to have I have to basically have 10% of how much all the rooms that I'm going to hold. I have to have 10% of that down. Okay. So
Can we go to see how much the blocks are and stuff, or
oh yeah, for sure.
the
That's
rooms
what
and stuff?
yeah, we're going to that's why I'm going to have the people do that. Is that my doorbell? We're going
A
to
little late
have
for that.
huh?
A little late for that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but I got something else for that too. We got the to the 15th. Next Sunday though, next Sunday is when they are going to the travel agency. People are going to be on there so they can answer your questions. But they already gave the breakdown, already have the pricing. But I was just going to wait for them to do it. But I do know
Okay.
that $397 is the down payment. And it just at that point, it's all depending on which room you pick on. So I can't tell you because if you pick, the top end room, it's going to be a different price per month, right? But all of them, I believe, including I think the most expensive one one is going to come out to like $1,400 for everything, okay? And that's including conference
Per
portion.
person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you want to bring someone and they don't if you want to bring your husband, but they don't want your husband doesn't want to go to the real estate seminar stuff, that's fine. Then you're splitting that room cost. It's a little bit cheaper, right? But there's a cost to the real estate portion because I'm gonna fly a couple people out. I got to pay them, so there's a cost to that as well. Okay. Yeah, that's what that is. But like I said, next Sunday, I'm going to have them come on and they're going to explain in way better detail and travel agent talk than I can.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, let me go check on this door. And hopefully it's somebody who is supposed to be here. All right. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being on the call once again. And man, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bring your questions. Let's work. Love y'all. Peace.
Have a good one, brother.
All right.
Later.